I sent in all of my rare Charizards to get graded that I pulled this year, starting from the Darkness Ablaze, Ducklet, Purloin, boom, there it is, yes, yes, are you kidding me? To the Champion's Path Full Art Charizards. Here it is. The Charizard V Full Art inside of every single Elite Trainer box. To the shiny Charizard from Champion's Path getting opened, or at least these three. Boom! There it is! We got it! Charizard! Shiny Charizard! Let's go! All the way through to Hidden Fates shiny Charizard.
We can make it happen. I don't know. Like I said.
Oh my! Oh! I have all of those cards here right in front of me. We're going to go through and see exactly what our grades are. So, the hope is that we could possibly pull out maybe a pristine 10 or 2. Maybe even, if we're super, super lucky, a black label Charizard, which is the most difficult to grade. That card would have perfect 10s all around, a flawless card, and a very, very valuable card, especially being a Charizard. So let's crack into this box and see exactly what we got here. I covered up the return address, but I have not opened this up yet. We're going to see the grades all together here. I have not looked at any of these quite yet. We're going to do this all together here. All right, so I want to make sure I cover these up. I'm going to start with one of these Charizards here in the middle, and let's see what we get. So, all right, they come out this way. Here we go. All right, so this is going to be a full art Charizard. Let me get a different grip here. All right, I don't want to show anything. There we go. All right, this is going to be one of the full art Charizards. Let's see what we got. Oh, a 9. All right, first Charizard out of the box, but have no fear. I believe there were 6 Charizards total that were sent in, and this is one of them. The Charizard V Full Art from the Elite Trainer box from Champion's Path, pulling in a mint 9. Now, not the best grade for a modern card. You probably want to be looking for at least a 9.5 on something like this. But we have a Charizard V Full Art. I put the price on the screen for this one. But just to look at this, so the overall grade was a 9. Now, the centering has a perfect 10. So we look at this card, left to right, top to bottom. The centering looks really good. Centering is on point. The edges got a 9.5, which means it was 0.5 off from being perfect. So if we look at the edges on this card, we can kind of see here. And actually, oh, this is kind of crazy. I don't know if you guys could see this, but first of all, there's some damage up on the top here. That looks to be most likely on the edges. Let me see what the corners got. The corners got an 8.5. Okay, so they counted that as a corner. It's pretty close, but it's right there. So it hit the corner. And it looks like damage on that corner there is one of the biggest flaws here. And actually, in the case, I don't know what happened here from Beckett, but it looks like there is a little piece of something in the case there as well. So a little bit messy in there. And actually, if you guys didn't know, you can actually move the cards. See that? So you can move the cards in these Beckett cases. It's inside of a sort of like a top loader that's sealed and then into the case, which I do like with Beckett, but like you could still move these cards around. See, like if I wanted to move it around there, it definitely moves around a little bit. So besides that, the corner's got the 8.5. I think the biggest flaw in this card is going to be that big flaw right there. And then that's what held it back. So if I didn't have that ding on that corner up there, you'd probably be looking at an overall 9.5 on this thing at least. All right, let's keep moving and see what the next card is out of here. So I'm going to make sure I cover it up like that. And we got another Charizard. So let me see if I can sort of cover this up without seeing it. All right, here we go. So here's another one. Now, this one is another Elite Trainer box Charizard. Let's see what we got. All right, we got a 9.5 on this one. So this one's looking better. We're moving up. 9.5 on this Charizard. Now, the centering on this one also got a perfect 10. So if we look on the centering on this, it looks pretty good. Close to perfect, if not perfect, according to this grade here. The edges got a 9.5 on this one. So if we look on the back here, looking pretty clean on the edges all around there as well. Then the corners got a 9. So I think one of the flaws on these cards is your corners. So you can see this corner here has a little something going on there. It's definitely nowhere near as bad as that one before that we had, but it's looking better. And then the surface got a 9.5. So overall grade is a 9.5. And now let's consider Gem Mint with Beckett. So a 9.5 grade would be Gem Mint. So another Elite Trainer Box Charizard from Champion's Path. So I had to go digging a little bit to find the sold prices on the last Charizard V full art from the Elite Trainer Box. But the last one sold for $300 or best offer. And then besides that, there are a few listed. $285 or best offer for this one, and then there's another one up for $300 or best offer. So I would say there's not a real set market price on that. It's definitely not worth $300, definitely below $300, possibly even below $200. But there's also the 9.5 Charizard that I did pull out of this box. So let's see, 9.5 Charizard. There is one listed for $299 or best offer on here. There's also a couple others around that price as well. There's some on auction, but let's see what the other ones sold for here. We've got a bunch of different Charizards mixed in here because there's a bunch, but there's one that sold for $299.99 or best offer recently. Then there's another one that actually sold for $182.50. So this one is one that I can actually get an exact price on here. So it doesn't have any of the subgrades listed either, but $182 for that, which I would say is probably about the market for that, around $180 to $200. And we're going to keep moving through these. There's still going to be some other big hitters besides these types of cards. There's going to be shiny cards in here. There's also the Darkness Ablaze Charizard as well. So I'm hoping we can get at least maybe one pristine 10 card. So let's pull from the back here a little bit. All right, let's go like this. All right, make sure I can't see anything here, and let's pull this card out. Oh, here we go. All right, this is the shiny Charizard. Let me see if I can get a different grip on this thing. All right, this is the shiny Charizard V. Let's see what we could get for this one. I'm hoping we can maybe get at least a 9.5, maybe even a 10 on this one. All right, fingers crossed. Oh, okay, we got a 9.5. That's not bad. 9.5 Gem Mint on this shiny Charizard V. This card is actually worth quite a bit. Let's take a peek here and see what this card's going for. So, in a 9.5, I'm seeing one up on auction that's at $700 at the moment. Another one's at $600 on auction as well. Another one at $600 so far. If we go to another one here at almost $900, let's see what some of them sold for. So, a big hitter. That card's worth about $1,000. $900 to $1,000 or so for this card. So, that's an awesome hit. We got a card that's basically almost worth about $1,000 in a Gem Mint 9.5. So, let's take a quick look here. The centering was the biggest hurdle for this card to get that higher grade. Now, the centering is a 9 on this. I can definitely tell the top to bottom is off quite a bit. So that held that back on the grade. The corners got a 9.5. And then the edges and the surface got a perfect 10. So edges were really good. And the surface. So if you look at the surface of this card, I remember pulling this out and it looked really clean there. It's just that centering that kind of held it back a bit. Now, if the centering was bumped up to something like a 10, then this card would be an overall Gem Mint 10 pristine card from Beckett. So either way, we got a $1,000 Charizard here in a 9.5 Gem Mint. That is a huge hit. That's definitely the biggest hit so far out of all these cards, but there's still a bunch more in here. There should be plenty of cards left here. Let's take a peek at this one. I want to make sure I cover the grade up for this. So let's do it this way. Let's flip it around. And we've got another Charizard. This is the Elite Trainer Box Charizard. This should be the last one that I have for this. Full art Charizard from the Elite Trainer Box. Maybe a 9.5 or a 10? A 9! Okay, so our third one pulled the 9. And this looks to be the weakest of them. Well, actually, no. There's two 10 subgrades. So on the other one here, we had an 8.5 on the corners. This one, corners is a 9. Surface is 9.5. This one, the surface is a 10. Edges are a little bit lower. Centering. So it's about the same, actually, give or take. So a little bit different, though, because there are two of the 10 subgrades on this card. Now, if just one of these, either the edges or the corners, was a 9.5, it would have bumped this overall grade to a 9.5. But we got stuck with the Mint 9 grade on this thing. So centering is really good on the front. The surface is looking really good. And I'm noticing on these cards from the Elite Trainer box, the biggest things here is going to be the corners and the edges on a lot of these. So corners on this card, I could see definitely some wear a little bit on there. On the edges at the top there, if you guys could see that. So some edge wear up here, some corner wear all around it. But overall, a 9. And I'm still seeing some more stuff getting caught in these cases. So that's actually inside the case there. And it looks like a fuzzball. So there's a fuzzball stuck inside of this case. On the left side there, looks like somebody's shirt fuzz got stuck in there. All right, got to make sure, Beckett, that we're not getting things caught. This actually is pretty bad, especially since it's so noticeable. But that is in the case. So the only way to get that out is if this were to get cracked out of the case and re-slabbed. So I could possibly complain to Beckett and say that there's this big thing in the case. Could you please re-slab it or whatever? But I probably won't do that. But you probably could call and complain about that, because that's a pretty big eyesore. I mean, that's probably one of the worst things that I've ever seen in a case. I mean, that's just, I'm sitting here and I could see that from all the way back here. It's not like that other one where, yeah, there was a little something, which is pretty noticeable, but it's white. So it's not super, super bad, but that is right there, just right in plain view on the card. So, but either way, another 9. Now, there should still be 2 more cards in here, 2 big hitters that I've been wanting to see. Of course, the Darkness Ablaze Charizard, and then the Shiny Charizard from Hidden Fates. So, let's see what the next card is that we're going to get out of here. All right. So, we have, I think I see the Darkness Ablaze. There it is. This is the Full Art Charizard from Darkness Ablaze. Let's see what the grade is on this thing. Hoping maybe we could just get 1 pristine 10. 9.5, that's still solid. I will take 9.5s all day. So a 9.5, Sword and Shield, Darkness Ablaze Charizard VMAX. So a bunch of these subgrades got a 9.5. The centering got a 9.5, so a little bit off on the centering. Edges got a 9.5. Surface got a 9.5. Corners got a 10. So let's check the back here. It looks really clean on the back. Corners got a 10. The edges a 9.5, so there's probably just like a little flaw somewhere on the edges, but the corners look really good. I remember this set in particular had some really nice print quality cards, really clean cut cards, but overall, somewhat close to a pristine 10. 2 of these subgrades would have needed to get bumped half a grade up to a 10 all around on at least 3 of them. So 9.5 on the Darkness Ablaze Charizard, and we can take a quick peek and see what this card is actually going for on eBay. So let's switch over and see. Alright, so we're on eBay. Let's see what the 9.5 Charizard Darkness Ablaze Full Art is going for. Looks like the last sale just yesterday went for just under $200 for a 9.5. And even the CGC ones are going for about that. Now there's another one that sold for $275, our best offer. This one actually went for $265. And it also kind of depends on what the subgrades are. So when we're looking at subgrades, sometimes they are stronger than others, which actually would make the price a little bit more. So something like this one for $265. Let's see what the subgrades were. So this one we had 2 10 subgrades and 2 9.5 subgrades. So mine, if you guys remember, has a 10 subgrade and 3 9.5 subgrades. So this one is actually a little bit stronger overall than the one that I have. So this one went for $265. Now, if we look on here, we got another one that went for just under $200. And this one also had 2 10 subgrades and 2 9.5 subgrades. So let's see if there are any others listed on here that sold. Another that sold for $275 just the other day. These sell quite frequently, actually. I'm kind of surprised how often these cards are selling on here. Quite daily, like multiple times a day in 9.5s. That's pretty crazy to see that. So let's see what these other ones went for as well. And then we have one that did not get the subgrades on this, which I would definitely recommend getting the subgrades for your cards. This one had 3 9.5s in a 10, so the same as mine, went for about $250. And then this one went for about $260, no subgrades. So I could say this card's probably realistically worth between $200 to $250. So far, we've got about $1,700 total in value here, but there's still one final Charizard left inside of here, and that is the Hidden Fates Shiny Charizard. Let's see what we can do. I'm hoping that we can get a 9.5 on that. I remember that I pulled it out, and I remember the centering was definitely off, so I'm hoping for a 9.5. I feel like it might be a little bit lower than that. So here it is. The Hidden Fates Shiny Charizard GX. And as you can see, centering is definitely off a bit, top to bottom. But our grade for this card is going to be... Drum roll, please. Oh, we got a 9 mint on it. So let's see. And... Yep, the centering is the only real thing that held this back. And actually, wow, Beckett. So, really quickly, before I go into that, Beckett, this case actually has a crack on it. So, check that out. I don't know if you guys can see it. Right there, there's a big crack on this, and it's just about ready to come off here. So, we got a crack. Oh, there it goes. So, here's the case. It's cracked off. We got a crack on here. Beckett really messing up a bit. I know they're behind. I did send these out express, so, I mean... They're maybe rushing, but like, we got a crack on the case. That's definitely going to affect the value for sure. We had that other Charizard that had the, like, fuzz in the case. That was pretty bad. Where's that at? The fuzz. Here's the fuzz. We had one with, like, somebody got some of their fuzz from their, like, shirt in here. Right there, we got a big crack on that one, and then we had another one that had some stuff on the back right here. So 3 of these have some sort of like other issue that's not even related to the card. Let's check the value of this card in a mint 9. So our shiny Charizard GX in a mint 9 is actually still worth about $600 to $700. $550 on this one, $680. I did see one for $750. This one actually went for $820 last week. So probably right in that ballpark, right around $600 to $700 or so for that card. So overall, we had about $2,400 in Charizards right here from getting them graded from Beckett. If you guys are considering grading your cards, definitely recommend it, especially if you pulled them out pack fresh. But there's all our Charizards. Unfortunately, our shiny Charizard GX got the 9. Unfortunately, there's a crack on the side, and unfortunately, this card had the fuzz in there. The other card had a little something in the case as well. But overall, we got 3 gem mints and we had 3 mint 9s. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.